Hey there everyone, welcome back to Fabric 5. I'm just down here in the nether doing a bit of strip mining for ancient debris, just so we can fully upgrade our armor set here. Oh, and what do you know, I think I see one right here. There's our first piece. And yeah, I thought maybe we can test a couple of methods out. We can do the bed one, so I brought a whole bunch of wool and some wood, hopefully that's enough. And we can also try using Ultramine to dig out large areas of the roof. Okay, nothing's exposed that time, but you get the point. There's my pretty face. So, what else are we going to do today? Well, after doing a little test, digging up netherite, and hopefully not killing ourselves in lava, today is going to be a really big automation day. And we're going to get some basic autocrafting and processing with AE2 set up. I've had a bit of a play around with that stuff in creative. And yeah, while I'm no expert, I think I've got the basics down. Although I guess we'll see. And if there's time, we'll head on back to that ocean monument that we saw last time and, I don't know, take it on. All right then, time to do a bit of testing. I'll start the timer and do, I don't know, about half an hour of the bed method, and then half an hour of just digging like crazy, and we'll see which one produces more ancient debris. Let's get to it. Hey, we're back at home base. So let's have a look how we did. Here we have just ancient debris that I found out and around the place, and some I was able to upgrade thanks to the little nether goblin trader dude. From the beds, we were able to get 12 ancient debris in half an hour, but from just running around crazy, punching walls, not even using durability on our pickaxe because we're just punching it with our fist, we're able to get 38. It did cost me a lot of food to replenish my stamina because, of course, we were doing ulti-mine the whole way. And also, it seemed to be far easier to get that done when instead of punching netherrack, I was punching that quartz stuff. There was like whole biomes full of this stuff, quartzite sand. And it was far easier to see ancient debris against a white background. So yeah, if you're looking for a spot to do it, maybe give the netherrack a skip and head right for the quartz sand. Oh, and yeah, and of course, a whole bunch of cobalt. Not sure if I really need it for anything because it looks like it's really just used for Hephaestus or Tinker's construct, which we haven't done, and I probably won't do this playthrough. So this is where we got to last time. We got our terminal here up and running. We've got disk space very, very full. Only 4 more types until this thing goes kaput. But I also want to find a way to get all these items in there. No good having 2 storage systems. And the way we can do that is with there's a bunch of support mods to AE2. Like AE additions and AE2 things. And I'm not sure which one we want to use, but the difference between these ME disk drives and the storage cells, and thanks to someone in the comments of the last video who told me I should be doing this, like the shortfall of these things is you can see 63 of 63 types all used up, but I'm only storing half the bytes that are available in this whole storage cell here. Like there's space there, but only items that are already in this storage cell will be able to fit the space. And if there was a different type of item, it would have to go into a different cell. Not so with disk drives. with disk drives, it's like it doesn't really take into account item types. So yeah, maybe it's a little bit cheaty, or it's definitely much easier. And it's not even that expensive. And actually, this one is expensive because it requires netherite. So let's skip the 4K and go straight to the... Get rid of them from our shopping list and look at getting a 256K disk. It'll cost us 2 netherite scraps, but that's okay. And just a bunch of other stuff, which we should have an abundance of. So let's get that kickstarted. Now the question is, how do we... I guess we don't need to keep these separate anymore. Basically, how to make the most of this ancient debris here. Because if I was to chuck it into smelter, it's just 1-to-1. Pretty crummy. We're not doing modern industrialization this playthrough, so even though that doubles it, it's not really on the table for us. We're not tinkering. You can grind it in a TR grinder to get 2, so that's an option. Or you could pulverize it into netherite scrap and then basically just smelt that up. So that's another way to double it, and I think that's what we're going to do. And rather than just haphazardly kind of tack on more and more machines around here, let's start off by actually working our way down the automation tree line, and we can get a pulverizer from Industrial Revolution hooked up to our ME system and craft this stuff automatically. So for automations, you encode patterns and you put them into pattern providers on a network, and then the ME system will tell items where to go and what to do with them. You can read all that if you guys want. First things first, we should just craft up a bunch of these things. So let's get another crafting terminal so we can change it into a pattern encoding terminal. And there's one other type of terminal we want. Pattern access terminal. This one. The pattern encoding terminals where we make our patterns, and this is where we can view them. Obviously, we haven't got any yet, so let's make up a bunch of blanks. Feed them in there. So yeah, this is where we'll do something like, put that recipe, encode it to a pattern, and put it in the right machine, but we're not quite there yet. We get, say, 4 pattern providers and 4 molecular assemblers. All right, and let's have a bit of a think how we want to position things here. All right, we've got to get into a bit of channel management. It seems we don't actually need this energy acceptor because the power cables connect right to it. It doesn't seem to be dipping in power, so that's handy to know. Put that away. Our crystal growth chamber doesn't need to be taking up a whole face of one of these controllers, which is 32 channels that will be hogging. I think we can probably tidy things up just a little bit. Like so. All right, this is all sitting on very important real estate. If we bring a dense 32 channel cable, we can probably start cabling things without leaving a big giant mess. I'm still figuring this out, but there's 8 channels on there. I think you can do something like this. That'll take 4 channels. Do these take channels though? No, I don't believe these do. All right, cool. And we can make a second layer of crafting and pattern providers and stuff. I don't think we need to worry too much about channel management at the moment, but it's good to kind of keep an eye out for it. Okay, and let's start a bit of a factory then. We want to get a bunch of blocks that can help us start our factory. And we've got a few options, but I think the one I kind of want to go for, because it's kind of simple, I think, and I've done it before, is a bunch of these Industrial Revolution ones, like the compressor, the infuser, the pulverizer, and solid infuser. And we can use them maybe down the side here and just leach channels from the bottom there. All right, so we can put down here a furnace, compressor, pulverizer, and solid infuser. I don't actually know what that last one does. And let's hook these up. Might need one of these things, I think, to configure it to input output on the bottom. That connect now? Why would you not want to connect? Oh, of course. Yeah, they don't connect directly. They connect through a pattern provider. We can make our first recipe, actually, which can be, let's say, 1 oak equals 4 planks. write that as a recipe, and then put it in the molecular assembler. Now, if you wanted planks, we can ask. No. Oh, no, of course, we need a crafting CPU. Already out of space in there. Oh, we need this up and running. So 4K crafting storage. And let's just tuck that down there. And then I think we just have to connect that. That'll eat up one more channel, actually. Now we have something that can craft. So if, for instance, we wanted to get some planks, I think we should be able to, let's say 40 planks, craft. There we go. It's pretty slow. We'll have to speed it up later, but that's kind of the idea. Okay, and now we need pattern providers, one for each machine. Let's tell it how to make crafting terminal. We'll stick that in there. Now when we craft this, oh, that's not what I wanted. Yes, that is what I wanted. I wanted a bunch of them. Control and click to craft unavailable items. Right. How do I craft more than one of them? Yeah, how do you ask it to craft more than just the one? Alt click, Alt control. Yeah, I don't know. Thusly, we can cover all that up. These guys are connected, but they got no power. They got pattern providers right below them, so it's important that we tell it not to push or pull from neighboring blocks, but to pull and push from the bottom. Let's bring our power down below here. We'll have it sticking up the back there. All right, they are all online, ready to craft. Okay, let's go to our crafting terminal. Tell it, hey, I want to pulverize ancient debris into netherite scraps and then furnace that. Hopefully this also works. Electric furnace and pulverizer. Now when we say give us some netherite scraps, it should go through the stages. Yeah, it took 5. It's pulverizing them. And then it's smelting that. All right, this is fantastic. And once we get our netherite scraps, what's a good bargain? 4 for 1. All right, it looks like our best option is to alloy smelt 10 to give us 3 netherite ingots. All right, things are finally up and running. Far from done, far from complete. But let's have a quick look through how this works, and hopefully I can do a decent job explaining to you the process. And I'm no expert, but yeah, hopefully it can make sense. All right, so the idea here is we have all our items stored in our ME network here, tucked away all snug in a singular drive just sitting down there. And the ME system lets us kind of route items around our network, sending them where they need to go so that we don't have to do things by hand anymore. And we do that by connecting different machines to the system using patterns. As we saw earlier, basic recipes that normally happen in a crafting table, such as, making wooden planks or making crafting tables themselves, they need one of these things, a molecular assembler, to work. So this thing here is just for anything that would normally do in a crafting table, we'll make a pattern for it and put it in one of these ones, or in the future, there'll probably be many more. And they'll delegate it to one of the molecular assemblers nearby to do the crafting. It'll spit it back out, and that's one less step that we have to do. But for things that need processing, like if you want something smelted or compressed, pulverized, etc., that's when you go from crafting patterns into processing patterns. And in fact, I was just making up some here a second ago. You get a recipe. Let's just make one for something like steel plates. Get the recipe you want. Encode it onto a blank pattern at the pattern encoding terminal. There it is. If you hold on the shift, it shows you what the recipe is. And this pattern here is basically telling the ME network, if you give it an item like steel ingots, you'll get steel plates in return. So if we go over here to our compressor, you don't have to put them in manually. There's actually a access terminal here, so we could just slide that in there, and then you'll see it now appears down here. So that's just telling it if the network's requesting steel plates, it's like, oh, I know how to get steel plates. Give it a steel ingot. That steel ingot gets exported outside the network, and then it'll get exactly 1 steel plate in return. It doesn't really care what happens between those 2 steps, which is why you got to make sure you do things properly, like set up the input and outputs, or over here, for instance, this pattern provider is telling the network, hey, I can make all these things if you need it. But what it's actually doing is just depositing those items into a chest. These pipes determine where those items are going to go. And then if I can squish down here, the export on these items all comes back into the pattern provider. It has no idea what happens in the meantime. So you got to make sure you set that up correctly, as I hope I did there. It's a really neat system. Hopefully I've done this properly, but yeah, that's just kind of like the foundations, I think, and we'll build on that and hopefully get some pretty complicated stuff up and running. Just working on my rubber collection in the meantime. It is pretty intimidating, and you know, I'm not going to lie, it's tricky, but unless you want to do everything manually, I think you kind of got to set up a system like this. Anyway, hope that makes sense, but I'm kind of sick of this area. I want to head out and stretch my legs, especially now that we can breathe underwater. I want to go check out that giant modded ocean monument and see what's different there. But to do it well, let's equip ourselves with some well-deserved toys to make our life a bit more enjoyable and easy. And we'll try and employ what we've set up here to help us out. So I reckon we deserve a jetpack. We'll get an Electrum jetpack. That requires a bronze one. So let's go through these steps and get all the things we need. And you'll notice steam mining drills back on the favorites here. Oh, I got rid of those freaking botany pots. That's like, I think the 4th or 5th steam mining drill that I've destroyed, and it's getting too tedious. Especially as the botany pots don't work with non-vanilla wood. Like, that's why I had to set up the rubber trees over there. Yeah, we probably can live without it for a little bit. Yeah, there's a bronze jetpack and an achievement. Oh, and Electum is silver and gold. All right, let's get a recipe for that. Come on, magpies. I didn't realize it was swooping season already. Let me do it. So let's make a recipe for Electum using the alloy smelter. Chuck that in there. I'll just order 30 of them. And there's our much better Electum jetpack. We probably want to get that charged up right away. We can charge up items in our inventory with a Powah transmitter. So let's get one of those, which requires, what's this? Use an aerial pearl on a zombie or husk. All right, fine. Let's go look for a zombie. All right, let's see if we can't find a volunteer. This is my little mining operation here. I told you I'd get some mining done between episodes, and this is what I dug out. Okay, it looks like we found our test subject. Right-clicking it. Oh, that's not a zombie, it's an undead miner. Okay, let's give this a go. So I right-click the zombie, and I've caught something. All right, I don't know how that works, but that's something that happened. And then we get a Powah transmitter. Nice. And upgrade that straight away to a basic level. All right, that's pretty easy. Right click to bind. And that's charging our things. Cool. Okay, new steam mining drill. All right, so let's upgrade that to blazing, and then upgrade that to, we've lost power again, upgrade those to niotic, and then upgrade those to the spirited level. This is the this comes from emeralds. Whoa, okay, that is significantly faster. Now we can charge our things again, and that shouldn't struggle at all. All right, let's get kitted up, and we can put this stuff to work. So I want to upgrade. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need 5 bits of netherite. We have 4. Let's craft another 20. It'll eat up most of our ancient debris, sadly. Now we should be able to, yep. Easy. All right, easy. Now we've got our handsome netherite gear. But that's not all. You can actually upgrade netherite to become this stuff. I guess we do that just for our armor sets. So we'll need 4 pieces per tier. I wonder how high I can get. So the gold requires the iron. Oh no, I'm actually going to need double. Unless I'm being really silly, you have to use 1 netherite gold ingot to upgrade to the emeralds. That makes it netherite emerald ingot, but you also need to have the netherite gold helmet or armor piece to upgrade as well. This pacifies phantoms. I'll take it. That's pretty cool. Then we can upgrade all those to gold. This pacifies piglins. This pacifies endermen. Oh my god. This is pretty cool. And what's above that? The diamond one pacifies endermen and piglins. Even higher defense. Oh, we got to do it. One, two, three, 4. I didn't think we'd actually be able to do it. I don't like to do math. Pacifies piglins, pacifies enderman. Makes me look like a super badass. Yes! Oh, look at those abs. But most importantly, we got the artifact loot bag. May as well upgrade that one more time to get things going even faster. Bit of a waste of power, but not the end of the world. So I'm a bit silly. I upgraded the trident thinking that it would just have kind of vanilla upgrades. I didn't realize, so, you know, I did it off camera and I didn't realize that it has some extra ones too, like warp. So thankfully it's got loyalty, but if it doesn't hit an enemy, it teleports us to where it lands, which is pretty badass. Like that's super amazing. And of course, loyalty brings it right back to us. And leech heals a heart on melee attack and latches onto enemies, range attack for 6 seconds. Damaging them and healing you, which sounds pretty cool. What I thought I could do is Unbreaking and Charmed. And I was looking at ways to upgrade this. Like I thought maybe we can make it into netherite. Not netherite, but loot table, bastion treasure. Yeah, so that's nether. That's ocean monument. Enchanted golden apples are meant to be pretty rare. And then that's from killing the dragon. So I'm guessing it goes from worst to best. So we could make the Elder Guardian one a bit later. But we can just make the apple one now. Like so. I've been waiting for this day. Let's upgrade it with sharpness and looting 2 at least. Sadly, I don't think we can upgrade. Oh, we can't quite upgrade it. Can we upgrade sharpness? All right, we can make it sharper at least. Let's actually upgrade this one just so we can get another loot bag. I want a better artifact. Okay, so what do we get? We got a straw and a hook. Increases experience dropped by creatures. That's pretty cool. And makes potions last longer. All right, so we want to import bus this, I think. We can pop them some acceleration cards like so in here. To speed that up. Whoa, and that terrains everything incredibly fast. So now when I'm out and about, we can open up our entangled bag, put in whatever we want, and it'll just get added to the network. I also chucked some acceleration a lot of acceleration cards on here, so things are getting much faster. And yeah, these guys also can do with an upgrade. I can't wait any longer. This thing's too slow. Let's make it a blaze in, stick that in. I'm going to go make myself a coffee while we let that thing build up then. Oh, great. We're fully charged up. All right, nice. Unfortunately, we have to replace our backpack for it. You can't, you can't seem to wear it in the cape slot or anything like that, which is a shame, but not the end of the world. Oh, engines on. Engines are on. We are flying around here, and I've got it set to hover, so we shouldn't fall down too quick. If we turn hover off, okay, we go straight down. That's amazing. We have flight, not quite creative flight, but good enough. All right, this is so good. This is incredible. And look, it's barely using any power. Is this thing working? All right, if you can hear this message, you have to... Station. Jibber-Tabaku has broken through. Holding up for a hero. Oh. What the hell was that? Ah! Oh my god. What was that? I've never seen that before. What was that place? Better not be my subtech. What was that place? Okay, that was more than a little strange. I wonder what that was all about. I suppose if we don't ask too many questions, we don't have to worry about any uncomfortable answers. Right, well, I might go ponder the meaning of all that. I was hoping to get to the ocean monument today, but yeah, it's still a little bit shaken up, and to be honest, we're out of time anyway. Thanks so much for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.